We are live. Feels like it's been a little while. Let's see. How long has it actually been? Let's see. YouTube.com. Share the screen. Forget to share the screen. Hearing myself hear myself. Um, last time we streamed was me saying that earlier. Couldn't imagine a life if this was 20 years ago. That would be strange. You'd have to be in a whole studio and full production recording in order to get this feedback experience of being live. But I digress. This was just 4 days ago. Not bad. Um, I guess it just feels like a lot of things have happened since the weekend. Let's see. How do I summarize here? I want to get straight into the charts. But there were a couple of key things that I'd like to express. And I think the first one is that oh, you want to start recording. The first thing that I want to highlight is how I feel. And it's important because the psychology is written all over the charts. And usually the retail trader gets swung around up and down. And usually it's through time, right? So if you think about a chart in terms of the X and Y axis, right? On the vertical side, you have price that's like going up. Then horizontally, you have time. And the feeling that you have in this area may not be reflected in this area, right? And that's very typical. So you see the price move and you start to plan out the action, right? You maybe let's get rid of the drawings. Maybe you're planning out this type of a move. So like let's say it's here. Let's actually even more mystify this. What are we? We're watching Chili's, which is a random coin. The FIFA World Cup is coming, so I feel like Chili's might have a chance to run. It's a soccer coin. And I just got an alert here today too. And it's also a mind trader alert. So yeah, it might rush for the top here, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's say we're looking at Chili's is the chart, and it's on March 30th. And as we know, March 30th was the day where we bottomed on basically everything, and everything went super high up. And so you're looking at this chart and you're going, wow, this may be the time. You know what might happen? It's retracing a little bit, but I think it finds support down here. Then it'll go and start to reach certain targets. It'll start to liquidate some fellas right up over here. That's your thought process. Then what really happens is time takes its toll and you see that it doesn't play out. Maybe you get chopped up. Maybe you lose some money. Maybe you follow some different coins. Maybe you make some money on other coins, or you lose like so much money that you don't even want to play anymore, and you don't believe your original thesis when it was on March 30th. That's what happens a lot of the times. Then you're not looking at this chart because it's just some random coin, anyways. Even if this was Ethereum, let's say, you may not feel like it has a chance to go up. At this point, when you were bullish up here, it's kind of wiped out over the course of weeks, right? What is this? Over the course of a week and a half, now you're going, well, I hope it doesn't break to lower lows like this, because then it's done. It would never go that far down unless like the entire market crash. But it's like, okay, I might start shorting here, and then I'll set my stop loss. Right? You might start thinking those type of thoughts because this original idea didn't play out. And then it continues to move, just lulling you to sleep, making the attention drift away somewhere else. And then finally, when it comes down to this area, you're like, yeah, it's definitely going down. My original thesis is playing out. It might do something like this. And it can go into this area, into the demand zone, right? There's so many potential short, long liquidations down here. It has more chance to go up, go down than up, because here are the short liquidations: an 80% move up or a 15% move down. But remember, back over here, you were pretty bullish. I'm not saying be perma bullish or perma bearish, but when the chart kind of reveals itself, you need to understand what you were thinking at this time. You're not just thinking about one chart in specific, you're also thinking about all the different confluence factors. So at this point, April 13th, we have bottomed on basically every single stock that you can point. You can throw a dart at a dartboard and that stock would have went up. And then Bitcoin had bottomed, Ethereum had bottomed, right? And if you're bearish on this coin, then it's because you've been not catching the moves on Bitcoin or whatever. You're being cautious, and that's very typical of psychology. But usually, what happens is once you kind of hit a certain demand zone, I don't know where this chart bottomed, but this pivot might be a nice demand zone. This pivot would be a very strong demand zone if we get there. But you'd be looking for longs if like the rest of the market, and then there's like peace talks and all that. You should be assimilating some sort of upside idea here, because if we look at the Bitcoin chart, let's put on the 4-hour, more bars. We have the 30th, which is down here, right? And then the 13th is here. So the 30th to the 13th, which is here. Okay. Bitcoin is up overall. It's kind of making these higher lows as we drew out over here. And we have this equal low that expanded, another 11% off of it. Of course, we don't know that yet. We're just seeing this on Bitcoin. It was hard for me to be bullish here as well. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, I caught it. Thankfully, I was long on other things, not crypto related, and that helped. But yeah, you don't want to really put it in a vacuum. Like you have to remember how you felt at a certain time, and being able to remind yourself is important, because your default mode is going to be the what you see in front of you. So boom, I just got really bullish because I saw these candles perk up. And like this, you might actually feel a little bearish on, because like, oh wow, just retesting or whatever. Well, looky here. We actually came up above. Let's get rid of this stuff. Oops. We came up above the previous high even. So if you bought at the high above, you'd be up 7% and a max of 10%, which is really not bad. And if you were looking to long any of these, you're up pretty decent. Where were these pivots actually? Where were these pivots? I think that's cool. It has a way of not showing the pivots until it gets there. So let's run this again, because I'm curious to see, like this was the pivot here, right? You want to be able to buy this bottom area. I don't think it ever touched it. It was probably up here. So that's bullish, right? Not hitting these down targets and going up instead is a bullish sentiment. And I'm leading all of this up to like, how do I feel now, right? Like where are we now? And I've been leaning bearish in a sense because I'm watching out for potentially reversal. But we are getting pretty close to it. Like, yeah, the pivot was here, so it never actually hit it. Boom. This move up is kind of hard to catch, but it's easy to think it's probably gonna fail again here. It's tough trading this in real time. This would have been 18% move up. Chili's overall, Bitcoin still has some space to get to like 80, 82, right? We're kind of following this movement. Last time we streamed was the last time I really looked at this chart, which would have been the 16th. And we're seeing kind of this potential move up here. Not bad. Not really. I don't hate this. We can have another jolt up. But I have here written on the board that April 12th, 15 days out would be the 26th, 27th, which is this weekend, potentially crash time. So if I'm thinking, I had definitely do have some puts opened. I actually I bought 3 times into these Costco puts, which I'm kind of holding now. I wasn't really happy about holding them today, but I still continued to hold, and they ended up getting closer to break even towards the end of the trading session. Came back down here, and I like that this 1,000 mark rejected heavily, and maybe we'll see some follow through. But what I'd be looking at is potentially Thursday. Thursdays are reversal days. So if we're going to find any sort of reversal in the short term, it'd be the 23rd, which is right here. And I'm holding Costco. They're really short dated into May. So I have to be cutting them if Thursday doesn't really bode well. Still have a week on it, but it's not going to look good. That's my hedge. Portfolio is hitting yearly highs again. We hit our first yearly high in January. We just surpassed it today, actually. So we broke yearly highs, which is yay. That's a good celebration moment. Crypto portfolio is working on it. We over the weekend, I started looking through all the tools. We got back into in Silico, and it's just great. Like, we're so prepared. It's not even. It's not if but when, right? So just excited to jump into the next play for crypto, but I'm not rushing it. We're doing very well in equities, and I hope that Costco actually does roll over so that we can actually print money on our puts. It's like we have it at 950, so we really have to quickly get down to this area. If we get down anywhere remotely close to 980, I'm gonna end up selling it in profit. I don't want to hold it too long. But yeah, that's our only put. Everything else is long. And over the weekend, we had some. I brought this up on this live stream multiple times in the past, but the FTX, that's on our daily watch list, did this crazy move, sell off into, it was like a crazy pump and then into a sell off into this support area. I feel like it's going to be a sell the news type of event just because this happened, but tomorrow's an investor day for them. We might pump into here and I'll just start selling pieces of my 400 shares. This is not the only thing to move. We had, what was that one called? Not Cybin. Cybin didn't move too much. Man, that one was a solid play. It went up 50% today, which is awesome. We had invested in it more recently, but only because I wanted to diversify beyond DFTX. DFTX was moving so fast this year that I was like, I can't buy into this heavy. So I bought into, oh, what is that? Yeah, it's already up. It's like up double. Compass. Yeah, that one. Man, this move was insane over the weekend. So we caught this, which is great. We positioned, yeah, we positioned in the fives, like literally here. So boom, it went up to $10, settled at this price, up 80% roughly from when I bought it, which is cool. We didn't have amazing size in there, but it's a nice win. But yeah, so I say all this to say, okay, well, we're about 3 days away from me being like max bearish. So I could potentially see Bitcoin doing something like this going into the 26th, right? Like literally how I think it can happen, literally how this is drawn, and just tap out over here into Thursday potentially, like literally this top. That'd be freaky if that does happen. This yeah, and then so if we like get into this area, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. We get some peace talks or whatever, and then it goes up in there, I start shorting. Yeah, and I got the tools ready for that. Super ready for selling on any pumps with our new revisited in silico. It took a while to set up. Like that's the thing is you just need to put the time into it. When you see something that's potentially even worthy, like there's so many times where I have these tools that are so helpful, but the time it takes to set up is not worth or whatever, or I don't want to. And I never end up doing it. And Hyperliquid was one of them. Could have got like a 5-figure airdrop just by using it. It's a great tool. Anyways, digression complete. Yeah, so what were we looking for this next target up here? Yeah, potentially on Chili's. Not everything's gonna move in tandem here. So I can see Chili's potentially coming up with Bitcoin. This is a little high, but if Bitcoin hits like 82, then it comes down, right? And then for the World Cup coming back up again, I like Chili's. Good coin. I like the coin. So I had a couple here. I don't know about right now. But yeah, like how I felt on April 12th was tentative. We're popping up on this. You should still feel. I mean, I don't know if I should feel tentative. I was kind of almost preaching that you should feel bullish around this time. Which there's like legitimate reasons I think to be bullish on Chili's, but we have just 3 days left. Let's hold out on it. I added another piece to this collection here. And this guy signifies we're in a crab market. This guy, the dinosaur, is like roaring, like the roaring 20s, roaring into a trend. And we already know these two. Bulba is for an upswing, and then Arcanine is lighting your money on fire. So today the combination is crab green. Going into the weekend, it was crab red. So let's see how this goes. Crab meaning at some point it's going to stop. It's not a trending market. And then green in the sense where we still have some upside to push up to 80 to 82. Costco thing is simply a hedge. Everything's working out pretty fine over here on our trades and medium long-term investments, including HIMS, which is doing quite well, quite super well. All of these health stocks I've been watching since like 21, 22. And there was the full breakout on HIMS. It tapped it 4 times last year. Lawsuit resolved. Pretty easy layup here. We're positioned big compared to my regular size in equities. Would I want 5 times more exposure to it? Of course. But I'm happy with the exposure here. I know we had the alerts. Anything under 20 is a buy, but I didn't. I mean, I think I did. I bought like 100 shares, which is like nothing. But like over here, I forget exactly where the alert was. If you review the live streams, you'll be able to see like as soon as it hit 20, like under 20 the first time, it like kept tapping on it and like, everything's kind of going down. I don't know if I want to buy it. But lo and behold, explosion 60% up to the upside. That's a lot. Like for something that you have had that you can call a conviction play and you've planned out, then yeah, I don't think 20,000 is enough to put into something like that. You need to swing harder. So yeah, note to self. I do have some calls. I bought like $1,000 worth of calls, which is at least double now, but they're leaps, so it's like, it'll probably end up like 6xing or something overall. But if it was like weeklies or monthlies, they'd be up 10x. Anyways, really good. Very happy with this. I mean, I even drew a downside potential here, which is I guarantee it's not going to happen. Like I'm basically saying if it happens, then um I deserve to lose the money because I don't think it hits 21 again. Hims is just like super bullish, and earnings, maybe it happens going into earnings, but then earnings should revive it. So let's say there's a downside scenario in the 20s range, right? Then fine. I'm happy to buy it anywhere. I mean, anywhere but under 27, honestly, but it's a little rich. So if it gets, let's say it gets to 23, I'll start buying some. How about that? We'll respect Mind Trader's stop loss. As long as it doesn't hit that, we should be bullish on it. Sive, and not allocate enough to Sive. I absolutely did not allocate enough. Down here, boom, it came down. I even got the alert. I was just busy. I wanted to, but I kept getting busy down here and I forgot about it. And then by the time I saw it again, it was here. I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy it. And then bam, even from here, it's up more than double. From here, it's almost quadruple. From where I got it, it's it's almost up triple. But I definitely didn't buy enough of this one. Up 31% here. All these international ones pushing, all the American-based ones, they're taking a breather. They're cooling down a little bit. Still all-time highs, right? But they're just cooling down, waiting for these small market cap ones to go. This one just hit a century and stayed there. That's a signal. Like, that's a huge signal. That means people are buying it at 100 and kind of leaving it there. So SOI, these all look pretty damn good. And then I added a bunch of biotechs today just because of the news. Compass, nice. Yeah, these all potentially have legs here. So I'm just gonna watch them on the daily watch list here. There's these shite coins that we added based off of my Bybit excursion the other day. Rave is moving. Oh man, Rave, we got stopped out. I sometimes hate stops for that reason, but they help you more than they hurt you. You have to use them. This went down 99%. So I swear I shorted near the very, very near the top. It was like, I think it was like here. And then I set a stop loss like right here or here or something, 5%, whatever. And yeah, we got stopped out. If we didn't set a stop loss, which I wouldn't advise not to do, we're looking at, it came down so big. By the time I saw it, it was down 95% already. But I knew I got stopped out. I'm like, it's down 9%, but I guarantee I don't have that position open anymore. I mean, I didn't put a lot into it anyways. The loss is probably like 200, but the gain would have been like 1,800, something like that. Anyways, it's up 25% today. That's to nobody's surprise. It's just that is what happens to shite coins. But yeah, just like pretty normal day. Otherwise, it's a little quiet It's actually a little quiet. Um, that's what happens when potentially we got a reversal. We'll see. We can see. Let's look at what SPY is doing. I wasn't really paying attention today during the workday. So yeah, we're breaking straight into all these all-time highs, deep into this Ichimoku. Even on the daily, we're challenging it. Broke out of this cloud here. Oh, this is reversion band. And these are Ichimokus, which we broke straight out of. I can see us continue potentially retesting this area. This doesn't look too bad, honestly. This drawing here, which I've moved twice already. Yeah, nothing too crazy to talk about. Just extreme bullishness over the last week or so. Final excess, I have no idea. Can't call it. All I know is Bitcoin has some room to move, and it quite possibly can happen. This candle down here at 73.7 was before the daily open. We had some bad news, but since then there's been not much news other than, hey, we're gonna have peace talks tomorrow, so price moving into that. We're pricing in peace, and I think we might have that jolt into here and then a sell the news. This is reasonable, in my opinion. Okay, great. So let's check out alerts and then whatever comes to mind, because things might actually end up coming to mind. Let's see. April 16th, which was on Thursday. Try to short sell. Maybe. Yeah. So this stop loss is probably an old one, because stop losses usually are above the open. I will keep my eye on this, though. I'm leaving that on there. Chili's, we've already covered. I might just leave this on the alert just to pop in every once in a while. We hit both targets on Apple. That's awesome. Can't hate that. I want it to go lower so I can buy more before the iPhone Fold is released. Bang, breaking more highs for Clear ID, which is amazing. Sucks for me because I didn't buy WoW over the last 2 weeks. It's up 25%. Holy moly. This looks very much like DFTX. Just continue to scrape up. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some news that they have some government, what do you call that? Partnerships. Wouldn't be surprised. But it just keeps going up. Look at all these. Everything is now reaching their 21-day moving averages, reclaiming everything. That is quite special. Except for on the 2-day chart. What about on the weekly? We're going to see more reds on the weekly, I think. Just Palantir. That's our biggest position, by the way, is Palantir. Everything else doing quite dandy. I don't know what I'm going to do with Clear. I'm just going to, I guess, leave it because we didn't buy in. So here's Palantir. It is pretty close to stopping out MindTrader. I don't mind selling my shares. It's currently up some percentage points, but since it's not actually performing well, technically, doesn't matter what Mr. Donnie's tweets. I probably get out of it. I'll keep it on a short leash just because I have to de-risk going into Thursday. So if I hit this trigger, I'm gonna sell. This trigger equals sell PLTR. And then we could potentially even short it based off of what MindTrader's saying here. Buy below. Really beating expectations. Just wow, look at this. Higher low, higher low, higher low consistently, and every earnings have been beat. Buy below, doing quite well. Is a very profitable company. Yep, can't argue with that otherwise. Let's get rid of these. Ding, ding, ding. Excuse me. Well, yeah, we're pushing into now these reversion bands. How high can we go? I have no idea, but usually, like, wow, if we end up hitting these cyan bands, that's most likely a strong short. But good call for MindTrader. He got us to buy it at 197 on its way up, which is crazy. And then, from here, it's already up damn near 35%. Everything's just going up. This is an extreme bull market. This is a echo bubble bull market, really. But I have to write myself a note here, or else I won't remember what I put this here for. It's like 5 looking like it's gonna exhaust. Lots of pinks. Let's see what's happened last time we saw lots of pinks on the weekly, mind you. Yeah, you see that? Boom, boom. What else? Any other time? Boom, boom. It was COVID? Nah, it was COVID. That's not fair. But yeah, I think it's actually a really strong company for that sense. We've seen it flail around, pinks into a what is this? A 30% drop, and then more pinks into a 40% drop. And then obviously we had this COVID crazy drop. No retailers were open. And the bounce back was heavy because it's good fundamentals. That's what we were looking for is good fundamentals. And maybe, just maybe, we'll create a new list for that. Good fundamentals. And 5 will be on that list. How about that? Let's see fundamentally how much they're worth. 13. That's not too crazy, I guess, but they're a retail store. They give me like Bed Bath and Beyond vibes, who did go bankrupt officially during COVID. But yeah, ding, 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 plow, breaking to all-time highs. So if they were to come back down, we're looking at 207 as that retracement point, like this area. Yeah, Bing Bao. And that would be quite a retrace, 16%. Target this for a reversal, honestly. Lots of pinks break into here, and then how long does it take? Well, from this pink to the crash, that was a long time. But what about this crash? We're looking at months, right? From this pink, we're looking for this jiggy pink, not these pumping pinks. Like we're seeing how these pumping pinks between this jiggy pink and the crash, like almost immediately, which is nice. It's nice to be able to catch a 26% drop over uh, a month and a half. So it's 6 weeks there. But really, this one was like 4 months. So if you're gonna take puts, maybe you take puts 3 months out. That's kind of in the sweet spot when we're looking at puts. Um, Companies are taking 2 to 4 months to come off of those highs. That's a good note to put here. 3 to 4 month output. Lots of pinks. That's good enough. I could work with that. Um, and soy, wow, it went up to 113 today before coming right back down. This is a tombstone candle, or what is this, a shooting star? I think it's like a shooting star doji, and that is bearish. That is quite bearish. But it ended at 100, which might not be bearish. Maybe, maybe not. Who even knows? Because wow, that's heavy. A shooting star doji pattern like that, right? It's a shooting star, but it's actually higher. It's a green one. It's a green shooting star. So, what's the difference between a green shooting star and a red shooting star? Let's find out. We have a complete guide. Yeah, I guess both of them are bearish. I might just end up selling my AAOI and ATXI. It's just, well, we've pushed enough. We've pushed like thousands of percent. And this, come to think of it, should be strange. This should be considered strange, right? You're getting these, I guess, beta movers that are heavily pumping right now. Scythe has a good reason to pump for sure because they're going to get listed on the stock market soon. Um, Everything else is pretty muted though. Yeah, that should be actually a sign. Short semis. That could be the sign to short semis. We're going to Discord. Doo doo doo. Or we could just go into our journal, which is fine too. Journal for 2026. All right. I think I'm a short semis. At least sell what I'm holding. Yeah, we up tons of percents on those, so we might as well. Might as well. And shorting them might be good on the thrust. I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. It just doesn't feel bullish because all the leaders are muted. All the international ones, which is easier to move and like typically move second, are pumping. This could be an exhaustion. And then we got the shooting star. Blau. Right? Shooting star on soy. All right, I'll do it. Screw it. I won't put too much, I guess, on it. We've done well enough, and we've identified this pattern here. It initially thought this was bullish, but yeah, no, it's actually a shooting star, dude. Bullish trend, bearish trend, location into resistance zone. Hmm. Hmm. It also should tell you the percentage of it happening. I don't know if they make this stuff up or whatever, but yeah, this is exactly what we're seeing. Bow, boom! Like even here, you can short it over here after this reversal. So you have time. This is probably the daily. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, love it. Love that. Great. Good identification. And it's pink. Got the pink on the weekly is insane. Pink on the daily. Yeah. Into the cyan bands. This is textbook. I need to like that needs to be the first thing that I do in the morning is short semis. Short semis. Yeah. All right. I don't need any more motivation for that. We even broke this 2.618. Oh, it touched. Look at that. It hit it on the nail. It hit the 2.1618 on the nail and then fully reversed. Where are we going with this? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that 1-to-1. We're going to go down to 73, quite frankly. That's what I believe is going to happen. Holy moly. This could be a short of a lifetime here from 100, and it'll happen in a short period too. So what potentially is going to happen here? This is cool. I like that we literally to the T got to the exact number. Let's see what the exact number was. 1460. 1460 versus 1435. Yeah, I like this. I want to try to prosper off of this move here. So how can this work out? Tomorrow, I imagine we're going to open up low, bounce, come down, and then down again. No, I don't think it's going to happen that quickly. That's too fast. So let's say we gap down, bounce, higher, and then down. Maybe that, and then that. And then that. Maybe. This is going into May. I don't know if it would reverse that quickly, but I totally see it coming down here. And then if it comes down to this 1-to-1 move, I'm happy to buy some into soy. I should sell. I should definitely sell. I'm done. I'm happy with everything that we made off it. Yeah. Shorting, semis. All right, we got our move. I think if that's the only takeaway from today, sorry, Serenity. We're done. We're done with your moves here. I think he's gonna continue to be bullish on this because he's in it for the fundamentals. We're here to make money both ways. So it's gonna happen. You see how he's doing these victory laps? Well, let's see. Let's see if we're right or if the fundamentals pull through and just the bottleneck is so great that, oh my gosh, we have to pour all of our money in here. We have to deploy all of our cash, no matter what the valuation. That just sounds a little crazy, even saying it out loud. Great. What's next? Definitely keeping this on here. Oh man, if I saw this happened after hours. What is this? April 20th at 4:40. Oh, because SOI is a foreign stock. I gotta sell it now. It's in my interactive brokers account. But like, I don't have to just short soy. I'll short all the other guys. Unless I'm up. If I'm up at 4 a.m., I'm not up at 4 a.m. Screw that. Oh, that's it. We have some on April 18th, which I think we've already looked at, which is why it's only two. Let's see. What is happening with ore? $54, guy. Look at that. Look at that. We're so proud to be ore community members. Oh, yeah. Supporting ore. Here we go. We sold some. I think it was here. It might have been like 55 because it pumped and it came quickly back down. But yeah, I mean, whatever we are making, staking, sold like a couple $100 worth. We're still at the same price. And I can't hate on this. This is nice. It's a good chart, right? Because we're coming back with, yeah, look at that. It looked quite terrible down here. And however, we made our way back above this demand zone and we're retesting it now. Or let's go. Look at that conviction. And this, I think we do have enough capital in. Maybe we put more ore, but or we don't, we'll let this ride and then play something else. But this looks quite good, not gonna lie, being completely objective here. And it's following this squiggly, which is cool. The squiggly was trying to target this area here, right? We're trying to turn this triangle, break out of this triangle, which we really did. This is freaking awesome. I like what I see here. I'm about to put like 100K into ore. Here. Okay, so we're looking at Zcash here, which yeah, I mean it ended up being the top. What we thought it was like, yeah, this is probably the top. But at the same time, I was trying to give Zcash some sort of respect. But yeah, I didn't realize it would come down that much either. With like Bitcoin and everything going up. But yeah, I mean, I guess Zcash can both start runs and um close runs, because Zcash was pumping before Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other coins went up 30%, right? Like Zcash was the one that went up 80% first. So it does make sense for it to come back down. How far does it come back down? It's like breaking every law, every resistance law here. Like this area is probably a great place, which it did find some support. Yes, it did. And this place also coincides with this area, coincidentally, I guess. So a solid place to find some support. I don't hate it. Um, yeah, let's delete this one and we'll add our own alert. If we can break above this pivot, then I don't mind buying it here. Yeah, Zcash looks to move towards 420 from here. And if not, then I don't even want to set an alert down here. I mean, we'll hit this stop loss, but naturally it'll just drift. And our buy zone is in the 170 range. If we can get between these two alerts, like there's some good pivots here too. But I want it, yeah, it's probably going to be people panic selling down here too, because there's a lot of believers. Like on Twitter, there's a guy that I have on notifications. He's just like, buy Zcash. He's from Dubai. And that's all he tweets about. And he made a lot of money up here. I don't know if he took any profits, but there's a lot of people who believe Zcash is going to do some good stuff. And those are the people that are going to sell down here. And so, like, typically what'll happen is like you'll have the support down here, but then if the selling pressure is too high because of fear, then you're going to have some move down here. And I could totally see this double bottom forming, right? This kind of looked like a double bottom, but it's not. If in reality, this looks like maybe one bottom and then two bottom. That would be super strong. And I like this move. I like this move. Almost 3x from here. I could go heavy. I can go heavy down at 170, and I think a lot of people will. So yeah, that's cool. We could just delete this one and delete that one because we've seen ore already. Galaxy Digital is making a move. Galaxy Digital is building like AI infrastructure, Bitcoin infrastructure, whatever. It's doing a lot better than like BMNR, which is just strictly Ethereum, and MicroStrategy, which is strictly Bitcoin. This is like infrastructure stuff, kind of like Coinbase. I wonder if it's gonna do this or it's gonna do like one of those Zcash stuff and kind of come up here and just drift off. Super could happen, especially if Bitcoin does that one thing where it's like pops and it comes down. If that's truly the case, then I would go ahead and set an alert down here. 40% off. We're even seeing like whales. Look at these whale prints, right? Boom! Whale print. Only one. There's 4 up here, so potentially another couple whale prints. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it potentially even. Why is this even on my list? Considering buying puts here. Oh, I did that last month at 2660. So we're currently at 2680. Maybe I'll leave this alert up. Oh wow, we didn't check any of these. I guess because yeah, 17th we weren't streaming. All right. If the yen goes up in number, then the dollar is strong. That's typically what that means. I don't know why. Oh yeah, this was a crazy day actually. Stocks were pumping on the 17th, which was Friday. So yeah, I was getting a bunch of alerts. I don't know why I wasn't able to look at the charts, but I guess I was busy. But I don't want to see it on this green. This is just ugly. Let's go and open it up on a regular color. I'm curious to see where the USDT is. That's more crypto related. So what's happening here is the Japanese yen was getting stronger, then the dollar got stronger again, and as you can see, we bounced off over here, which so many alerts. Typically, when the dollar gets stronger, the stocks don't do well. I want to keep this alert up, but I don't want to delete a million alerts, so we'll just create a new one. That, leave it at the same place, maybe even a little higher. And I want it to be repeating because that is important to me. This is an important metric. And yeah, that basically clears out a whole bunch of alerts. If we continue to go up, stocks are going to go down. I don't think this is going to happen, but if it does, then yeah, that would coincide with dollar getting stronger, interest rates getting better, stocks getting worse. Japan is also going to get Japanese yen is going to get weaker. We're going to see a tag down here as well. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll just leave it here. It's fine. Just X these out, I guess. 1, 2, 3. And so we got the SPY doing what it's doing. Stop loss on the puts, on the what you call it, short. Bang, that happened on the 17th, and it's continuing to be that way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. MicroStrategy. Oh, damn. It did a thing. Yeah, MicroStrategy looking kind of like Galaxy here. We have a target, so we'll see what happens on that target. Leaving MicroStrategy here. BMNR, right? Yeah, BMNR is one of those that's just kind of not moving. It would move if Ethereum does, but you know what? This looks bullish in a sense where it's building a base, but overall downtrend. So we're gonna extrapolate, see what happened last time here. Yeah, maybe something like that might happen. Ugh. Another move out into the tens. This would be a fantastic buying opportunity. I'll buy up all the Bitminer down here. Screw it. I'll just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks in a couple of years. This is an amazing buy opportunity if that happens. I would do that. Let's just kind of use the same veracity within the alert name so I could understand how I felt today, tomorrow. Throw your life savings here, thanks. You know? Rocket? Uh-huh. Oh yeah, we wanted to buy Rocket. We didn't do that. Is that the thing that we wanted to do here? Go long on RKT. We ended up going short on Costco instead. But if we longed on the 12th, what did it look like on the 12th? What made us feel like it was bullish on the 12th? Here? It was here. I mean, I don't know why. Oh, the biggest mortgage company in the fucking world. Yeah, I guess I can see that. Damn, 16% since then. Yeah, and that's pretty good. This move, like if you're getting 3 weeks out and you're putting it at 16 or whatever, you're up like you're probably up 3x minimum here. Man, rocket companies, solid. I want to buy it. Yeah, we got the alert down here. I want to buy it. Stop loss on Galaxy. Screw it. April 15th. Now, watch out if price falls below. Failed to hold. Okay. So this is a short potential here. All right. I don't mind that. On April 7th. Eh, yeah, I don't know what's going on with crypto. It's just sure. I feel like if there's news with Tether, which I mean with XRP, that does typically happen. Um, maybe we get up to the 70s. I can see this potentially happening, sure. But probably closer to here. Yeah, fine. Fine. Sure. Yep. But I deleted the alerts. I have no idea what it is now. I probably have to buy it as it's crossing up. Um, here. Oh, we're looking at a bunch of crypto ones now. Get rid of this one. APT, is it above $1 still? It is not. It is definitely not doing that. Nope. Rocket Lab. Yeah, Rocket Lab is a good one. Crap, didn't buy that. Rocket Lab is definitely one of those where holy crappers. Should have positioned in. I didn't have this, but I did have this. I still do. I don't know. Do I sell the space stocks? Crap. I have this too. Man, maybe I sell when try to short space when space ends up going super high. Rocket Lab though, it seems a little bit too too expensive at this moment. Oh, well, this was interesting. Solana made a move. This could be the source. This could mean something, right? All the memes started running whatever when Solana was doing good here. Then we found a base. So is this just another push into a downtrend? I haven't seen such strength in Solana against Ethereum in a long time. Well, we have this. So see how this pieces together. I don't think it would end up taking this long. It's a 4-hour chart. But yeah, like we come out, retest this area. I don't know. Like this would be interesting. I can see this making sense. And then what Ethereum does better in the future. Maybe I'll keep it here. This is interesting. The rest of the market, to answer your question, the rest of the market was doing well for a day, and then everything's just taking a breather. Things are actually higher than before this moment. So I can say that, like altcoins or whatever, yeah, things are potentially turning for the better here. Because if we went and looked at the shite coins, I think this is where we added the shite coins. We're just trying to go 4 days back, right? 16th. Bam! Right? And then kind of back to the same area. These are like super shite coins though. So 16th, bam! We're still higher than the base. And like, mind you, like if I went to Ethereum or BTC, it would look a lot better. Like LDO was just doing awful. This was jump off, and then now it's below it. ABT was at 99. We got the alert. Before it though it was at 90, so we're above that. I can see this being a continuation potentially. Man, it sucks that whiff is down here. Good thing we sold it, I guess. And we sold the top on this. Congratulations. When it was in the 50s, we ended up selling maybe high 40s, low 50s here. That was nice. And now it's like really shiting the bed. Shiting. Come on. Yeah, it's down 9% from there. Um I if it does go test $3 again, that might actually be bad. However, um what if it does something like this? Maybe. Oh, this is deep. This is too deep into May. I don't think that happens. Yeah, I mean, looking at alts, looks pretty crappy out here. It's a hard time. ENA did well though. This is the base. It's firmly above the base. Monad topped out at 38. Holy moly. Yeah, this might actually just be it for Monad. But you never know. If we get some bullish, Monad might be the first to move. So I'm gonna set an alert here for sure. For sure, for sure. We want it to break out. Like, this is one of the coins where like Bitcoin tops, but since Monad is broken out already, it might just keep going. Something like that. It could happen, really. So keeping that in my mind while Rave over here, I really don't care about whatsoever. What's your edge in the market? Shorting edge maybe. Something like that. I like this. There. That's on the 30-minute. Oh, that was on a 30-minute. That's way too small of a time frame. That's how it shows up on the 2-day. Yeah, this looks awful though. I mean, that happened here, found the lower base, and then up motion. Maybe somewhere here. Possibly. Possibly. I wouldn't, I mean, I'm not, that's not one of those coins that I'm married to. I don't even care about it. So, do we have anything? Yeah, we'll kind of revisit these other ones. We kept them here in our log for a reason, so we can go back to them. So we'll do that at a later time. But I like Rocket. I wish it would come back down. I would buy it long term, super long term stock that I can buy. Rocket Lab is just doing stupendously. So I don't know what to say about that one. I'm shorting this. U is doing extremely well as well. So just whatever, I'm gonna have to wait. But I like those for potentially holding for a long time stuff. Yeah, I think sometime in the future, you truly will see you getting a government contract. It seems like it's written in the charts. It was very depressed at one point, and it's just consistently breaking these levels here. Will it have a breather? Probably something like this. So we got to watch out for something like this so we can buy in. Hopefully coinciding with like a market wide drop. Those are usually the best for that. Um, Maybe something like this. So we find a base down here. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to even keep that. Yeah, this right here. Maybe this one. And Whew. Yeah, this is not a meme coin. It's not a pump and dump. This is truly something like, look, we're going. It's happening into earnings. It beat earnings over the last year. Probably something good over earnings, but sell the news maybe a sell the news type of thing for earnings. Like boom, and then that. Maybe. But we're keeping an eye on it. Yeah. I guess that will close out Monday, and we're at least holding true to our Mondays where we check out our alerts. So tomorrow, hope to tune in for the market pulse. Good night and farewell.